Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, to episode 37 of the Memo KSR's Kentucky Women's Basketball Podcast. Now, as you all see, I'm not in my normal setting. I'm joined by Kentucky point guard Tonie Morgan. Tonie, thanks for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, so I wanted to start this by asking you, when you enter your name into the transfer portal, just what were some of the deciding factors that ultimately got you here to Kentucky?
Okay. Well, when I entered the portal, I wanted to go to a program who had a shot at competing for high accomplishments. And I wanted to go to a program with a coach who believed in me and my abilities to help his program. And that's how I ended up here.
So what were some of the things Coach Brooks and the staff were kind of pitching to you or telling you about when you were in the portal?
He was telling me that he had the blueprint. And obviously I've seen it with all the players he's had go to where I want to go. So he had the blueprint. And he was going to treat me like a pro because that's what I want to be ultimately. So I believed in him.
Now, you've actually played in 7 career games against the SEC teams. When you were at Georgia Tech, you all 4-3. You averaged 12, 5, and 5 in those games. Now, obviously, I knew you're already confident in your ability as a ball player, but seeing your personal success against the SEC teams, is that even more of a confidence booster?
Like you said, I do have confidence in myself, but knowing that I can compete at this level and always have been, it definitely boosts my confidence.
How awesome is it to be able to play against, or play with, some of the talent that you have on this team? Not to say you didn't have talent elsewhere, but, have the reigning SEC Defensive Player of the Year, multiple 35% plus three-point shooters, a 5-star freshman. How great is it to kind of have the supporting cast around that you have?
It's a great feeling every day in practice. I'm excited to play with these ladies. They're great teammates, great people off the court. So just knowing that I have great people around me is an amazing way to go into my senior year.
Now, kind of along with that, I've been fortunate enough to have been to a practice or two this summer, nothing crazy. But every time I'm in there, Tonie, it feels like every practice player, every coach is guarding you. It's 7-on-1 every time I walk in there. Just talk about, the time and dedication that Kenny and the staff puts into, just individual development for you.
Absolutely. He's definitely dedicated to all of our individual improvements because if we improve as players, the team gets better off rip. So just knowing that he is dedicated to my improvement, even though I haven't been with him all my 4 years, it feels really good.
I imagine it's kicking your butt, but at the same time, making you that much more of a ball player, right?
Definitely. It's definitely hard. He doesn't make it easy for me, but I know I'm getting better in the process.
And then kind of off the court, how is everybody, right? You hear the culture's great, but, outside of basketball, it's not just your 12 teammates, or is it 12? Is that the number? 12 teammates. It's kind of like 12 of your best friends that you're playing with too a little bit, right?
Yeah, it's nice to like your teammates. It's been amazing so far, and I can't wait for the season to start.
When playing against Kenny's teams at Virginia Tech, whether it was when you're watching film or maybe it was when you're actually out there competing against his teams, was there ever a moment when you were like, oh, you know what? He's actually got a fun system. Did you ever even think about that, even when you're, across enemy lines?
I'm not going to answer that because I was on a different team.
Yeah.
I was focused on the team at the time.
Yeah, that makes
our
sense.
Achievements, but they definitely looked like they had a lot of fun out there, and that's definitely a good thing to have when you're playing.
I was just curious because I think if it were me in those shoes, I'd be sitting there watching film, be like, okay, Kenny, I guess this is a fun thing. Obviously, the goal is to go beat them.
Yeah.
But I was just thinking, maybe, hey, I kind of like what he's doing there. But regardless, as someone who has aspirations to get to the W, I know it's very important to you. There's so many coaches and schools that have put players in the W. But why did you feel like Kentucky was the place for you?
Like I told you, he had the blueprint. All the things that I wanted, he had, and he made sure that I knew that he had, and he's done it before. And he believed in me, and ultimately that's what I wanted, someone who believed in me as a player.
You talk about the blueprint. What is that, I guess as much as you can say, what does that blueprint kind of look like for you?
So as you spoke, he came from Virginia Tech. He came from ACC school, which, I came from ACC school. He brought Georgia over to the SEC, and, everybody knew who Georgia was, and she still made her name even bigger coming here. So that's something that I wanted to be a part of, and he had the blueprint. He's done it before, and I feel like he can do it again.
How much does it help, when you're being coached by Kenny? He played point guard at James Madison.
Yeah.
How much can you really tell that in his coaching?
Oh, you can absolutely tell. You can tell that he really values his point guards. Every day in practice, I can tell that I don't want to say perfect, but I have to be very consistent every day that I come to practice, and that's definitely something that I need to improve on.
I interviewed Coach Brooks not too long after you committed, and it's a good timing because you just brought up Georgia. How was it? Because if I remember, we were talking. You and Georgia actually ran into each other in the airport.
Yeah.
Took a selfie, sent it to Coach Brooks. I mean, just what kind of a coincidence is that? Like you're on your visit. Oh, by the way, here goes our point guard going to the WNBA draft. You know,
Yeah.
just saying, just running into each other in the airport. I mean, what was that experience like?
I mean, I saw it as somewhere that I could be going. Like, she's headed to the WNBA draft, which is where I want to be headed. So running into her just meant that it just felt like this is the place and this is where I can make it happen.
And speaking of Georgia, I think it's pretty clear to say, I guess in essence, you're kind of the Georgia Amore replacement. But I know Kenny said it sometime during the summer. It's not about you filling her shoes. It's you bringing your own, right? It's you doing your own thing. So just what are some, like what sets Tonie Morgan apart? Not just from Georgia Amore, but from all the other, great point guards in college basketball. What makes Tonie Morgan Tonie Morgan?
What makes Tonie Morgan Tonie Morgan is I'm a true point guard. I don't think about myself first. I put the needs of the team above my own, and I want to get everybody involved. And when the team is better, that means I've done my job. So.
Now, when you got here, it didn't take you very long to get involved in the community, from what I've seen. Like I've seen you were at like Ronald McDonald House, Special Olympics. There's stuff I'm forgetting just off the top of my head. What does it mean to you just to be involved in the community like that, even though you kind of really just got here?
It means a lot. Just submerge yourself in the community that you're in. I'm new here. I want to get to know my surroundings, get to put my face out there so people know a familiar face, and I want to be friendly, know that I'm involved in the community.
Now, I know you haven't even been in a game yet, but have you felt like the presence of BBN yet? Like, have you kind of felt Big Blue Nation a little bit?
Absolutely. I mean, I go to some sporting events, and I can just feel the love for all the sports teams they have here, and it's just been amazing so far.
And then, now I'm going to bring up Big Blue Madness. Don't tell me your song or dance or nothing like that. But how much are you looking forward to that, just kind of what you've heard so far this summer?
I've just been told recently the gravity of Big Blue Madness, so it kind of put a little pressure on it because at first I just thought it was like, just get to meet the players, but no, it's something big. So it means a lot. I mean, it's a big thing, a whole blue carpet.
Yeah.
That's really cool. So I'm just excited to be a part of it.
It's almost like a grand premiere for like a summer blockbuster movie.
Yeah.
It's kind of like you get the blue carpet, everybody's got their drip on, their swag, and then you go out there and you ball out, and it's the best way I can think of it is like a pep rally for like a 24,000 pep rally for the basketballs. It's insane. I'm sure you'll love it.
Yeah.
Now, we have some questions from our listeners as well. I tried to, maybe some of them are kind of already been asked in a little way, but I just wanted to, see what Big Blue Nation wanted to ask you. Mm-hmm. So, number one, just who does Tonie Morgan model her game after?
Yeah, I do get that question a lot, but I like to say I don't model after anybody. I want to be the first Tonie Morgan. I mean, obviously, the game has been around for a long time, so it's a lot of people that I could be compared to, but I like to think that I play like myself. So.
Now, I'm supposing this question, I'm assuming the question was more so about your teammates, but you can include yourself.
Okay.
Who is going to surprise people this season on the basketball court? Someone that, we're thinking about how good Tonie Morgan's going to be, Claire Streck's going to be, but who's someone that's just going to catch us by surprise?
I mean, honestly, that's hard for me to answer because we're all really good, so it wouldn't come as a surprise to me for anybody.
Sure.
So I don't really know how to answer that.
Who's just someone that when you stepped into the facility, and again, I'm sure the answer probably is everyone, but just someone who kind of, your first impression, you saw them, you're just like, oh man, like she's a ball player.
Okay. Like you said, everybody, but if I had to answer this, I would say probably Jordan because she didn't play last season, and that was her first year here. So just know that she's a big, strong, solid. She could play the 1 through the 5. I think she might impress a lot of people this year.
What was your, of all the reasons you picked Kentucky, what was the reason? What was the primary? I know you've kind of already talked about the blueprint, but just, I guess, you maybe add on to that, but what was the reason?
The reason was I could see myself here. I mean, when I think about a lot of the places that I could have gone, I was just like, I can see myself here playing in Kentucky, for a big Blue Nation. So,
how has Coach Brooks described how he wants you to play as point guard?
How does he want me to play? He wants me to play like myself, play like Tonie Morgan. I mean, just show up as myself every day consistently. That's what he wants.
And then, what is the biggest strength that you think you'll bring to the team?
The biggest strength that I think I'll bring or that I want to bring?
Both.
Okay. The biggest strength that I want to bring is leadership. It's definitely something that I wanted to improve on in my career. So leadership is what I want to bring. And the biggest strength that I think I will bring is just maybe that like encouragement factor. Just knowing that no matter what's happening, they can always like depend on me and know that I'm there, happy for them and encouraging them the whole time.
What does leadership look like to you? Like I know for some people it's, you show it through your actions, or, you have some of your more vocal leaders. People lead in different ways. What do you think that looks like for you?
Absolutely. Definitely being a point guard, I have to be a little more vocal, but I wouldn't consider myself as the vocal leader. I would say definitely leading by actions and then serving my teammates, just putting my teammates above my own needs and wants.
You think this team has a cemented vocal leader, and if so, who is that? Someone in practice who's always barking.
Probably Tonie.
Probably Tonie.
Yeah.
Okay, I like that. Senior, good to have. She was here last year. That's good. That's good. What are some of your non-basketball hobbies? We talk about all this between the 94 feet. Like, what do you do outside of basketball, man?
What I do outside of basketball, so I like to go on walks, like nature walks, like at the Arboretum. I like to try new food places, try new shows, hang out with my teammates. Just.
Okay, now I gotta know. Since you literally just got here, what's your favorite food spots here in Lexington? Gotta ask.
That are not like fast food chains.
Yeah, something
like
that's
Chipotle.
probably unique.
Okay.
So like Chipotle. I mean, everyone loves Chipotle. Yeah. Expensive, but we love it.
Unique to Lexington.
At least that you think is unique to Lexington. I guess you wouldn't know.
Yeah,
for sure.
I wouldn't know. Yeah, but that's tough. You put me on the spot there. I've never heard of agave and rye before I came here. It's a taco spot. I think it's pretty good. There's this biscuit place. I can't think of it. I like a fried chicken biscuit. I don't even.
Oh, that sounds good. Fried chicken biscuit. That sounds really good.
I can't remember the name, but I think it's a staple here, maybe. But it was. Cool.
Yeah. There's a lot of good stuff in town. But I was just curious. Like you just got. I always like to ask. Like I always like to just kind of throw people off. Like, all right, now tell me your favorite food.
Yeah.
What is the thing, like the one skill set you've been working on the most this offseason?
Skill set. Like on the court, probably.
Yeah. Or like 3-point shooting or defense, or what specifically been working on the most, you would say?
Okay, probably game like 3-point shots. Game like, because you need your reps, you need your form reps, but game like footwork into it and dribbling, coming off the screen with it, all of that.
I was gonna say, kind of talk about the difference because, you think about like. I'll be in the gym and you see Amelia, for example, she make like 25 threes in a row.
Yeah.
And as great as that is, it's not quite like, nothing replicates game reps, right?
Mm-hmm.
So how do you try to simulate game reps as best you can in practice? I know you kind of talk about the footwork and everything, but what all goes into that?
In practice, you have to shoot them in practice. If you don't shoot them like at a game-like pace and the closest you can get is getting up and down in practice, then you won't feel it into the game. So I would say shooting them in practice is the best way to get game-like reps.
It's kind of a two-parter. Number one, who is the funniest, or if you can't single out the funniest, like who are some of the funnier people on the team?
Funnier? We're all funny. So who is the funniest? I think Dom makes me laugh. Dom.
Okay.
T. They're all funny in different ways. Gabby.
Can you think of a specific, like, really funny moment that, like, you think about and just kind of makes you laugh every now and then? Or maybe something that happened, like, today or yesterday,
A specific funny moment. I can't, but I know as soon as it's over, I'm going to be able to say one.
Yeah, that's usually how it goes, yeah. You walk in the locker room, Gabby is just in the middle of a TikTok dance or something,
Yes, always.
We've talked about how you're different from Georgia because obviously you are a very different player from Georgia. But what do you think are some things that, you all maybe are kind of alike? Like, what are some things that maybe make you all similar as ball players?
I would say probably we're both quick and explosive. Point guards, obviously. I would say quick and explosive, and probably know how to command the team. I would say it's pretty similar.
For us on the outside, I think it's easy to. I don't know if concern's the right word, but we kind of question like, okay, we know we have Tonie Morgan at point guard. What do we have kind of beyond that? And I just wanted to ask because your teammates a lot better than we know them right now. Mm-hmm. Who are some, who are some of your teammates? And I'm sure everybody, but. Like, who's going to be able to help you out in the backcourt? Is a simple question. Like,
in the backcourt, like a guard? That's actually funny you asked that because all of us can bring it up to court. And I know you're gonna look at me crazy because obviously I'm gonna say everybody, but no, like we've literally been working on everybody being able
Every
to bring
single
it
person.
up. Yes,
Well, because
everybody being able
last
to bring it
season,
up to
like we
court.
saw, like even like Tonie Key, 6'4". I mean,
Yeah.
listen, she's like a unicorn out there, like
Yeah.
bringing the ball up the floor. I remember it was Tennessee, and Tennessee likes to run, kind of like fast-paced offense, like Kim Caldwell does. But Tiani just ate it up because she wanted to get up and down in transition. So if everyone can bring the ball up the floor, including Claire Strack and like everyone, doesn't matter how big or small you are, I guess that bodes well for you.
Yeah.
Have you kind of felt any sort of maybe pressure to perform because you're trying to make that next leap to the WNBA? Has there this summer really at all? Have you kind of given it a thought of, okay, I really got to make this work? And again, I'm sure that's why you had the faith to come to Kentucky. But have you given it a thought of like, okay, this is not my one shot, but I got to make this work if I want to get to the W?
Yes. I do feel like I need to make this work to get to the W, but it's not really in a pressure type way.
Okay.
It's more like if you want to get to the W, you will make this work. And if you got to make it work. It's not like
it's almost more motivating than it is, I guess, putting pressure on you.
Because I feel no sense of pressure, like, because this is what I want to do. This is a game. This is basketball. Like, it's supposed to be fun.
So you didn't come here, I guess, to shy away from the big moment.
No, absolutely not.
And then just one last question, kind of to wrap things up. What is Tonie Morgan most excited about heading into the season?
What I'm most excited about, of course, playing with my teammates and being SEC champs, obviously.
Okay, I do. Okay, now that you say SEC champs, we heard in practice when you all wrapping things up, you go to break it down. 1, 2, 3, SEC champs. Talk about, obviously, I know that's the goal, but talk about Kenny kind of enforcing or making you all embrace that goal.
I mean, it's a standard. Every day we show up to practice, you need to come ready to play, ready to work, because we have an ultimate goal, and that's to be SEC champs and more. That's SEC champs is not the end goal.
It's not the end, yeah.
It's not the end all be all, but we have to show up every day, and if we don't, he lets us hear it. And
I think about in the practice facility, there's the 3 SEC title banners, but they left enough space for one more. Maybe before you head out to the WNBA, you can bring us an SEC championship. Well, Tonie,
absolutely.
I got to say thank you so much for joining me. It was great having you on. Thank you so much. Thank you all so much for tuning in to episode 37 of the Memorial Memo. As always, subscribe to the KSR YouTube channel. We love pumping out this content for you, so we need your support to keep it going. We will see you guys next time. Thank you so much.